When you use this option to add a file to data discovery, you get an auto-generate cube over here, and that cube contains a number of dimension folders and also a number of measures folders down here. So let's try to explain those, and I'll do that by adding a crosstab to this analysis. Let's just take a single dimension, build to name, and let's have a look at some of the most common measures here. For example, amount sum. And also let's pick something from the average folder, amount average, and also maximum, amount max, and also from the minimum folder, amount minimum. And let's just have a look at those data. Let's just resize the crosstab here so that we can see all the measures. And with those four measures, if we look at the first one here, amount sum, this number is just the total sum of amount. I don't know how many transactions goes into this number. The same for average here, but it's just the average number. And the maximum number among all my amount values. And the last column here will be the minimum value among all my amount values. And going back to our source data, we can now add the two last measures. The count measure. Let's add amount count here. And also let's add the amount count distinct from here. So with those two measures, on looking at the same customer, we can see that apparently 7 transactions went into this customer here. Now the count distinct tells us that we have 5 distinct amount values within this data set for this customer. Now to explain that further, let's add another crosstab here. And for this crosstab, I'll be looking into amount sum again. So let's add that one. And this time I'll see together with my number dimension. The number dimension is actually the IDs of my individual transactions. So in other words, when we look over here, and if I now go into consumer mode here, I'll be able to do a drill down on this customer. So I'll just do that. Now we can see that for that customer, we got those 7 transactions in total. Those are the 7 that you see over here. But if we look at the values here, we can also see that 154 is repeated twice, and the same goes for 166. So that's why we only got 5 distinct values in this data set. Furthermore, let's add a third crosstab to this analysis. And for this one, I would like to insert my count measure, the amount count again. But this time, with regard to dimension, let's look into this raw folder. The raw folder contains all the columns from your Excel sheet, including the 2 columns here that were actually measures, but now they're treated also as dimensions. So let's try to add amount raw here as well and see what that will do. So let's move it over here, and what we can see already is that these amount raw values is now treated as dimension values, and 153.8 apparently appears twice, and the same for 166.4. So again, that's why we only got 5 distinct counts.